Sega!
Hey there, Teddy Rubskin here, and today we're talking about this thing, the Sega Genesis Classic Game Console with 80 built-in games. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Now, I did a video about this before, but it was more or less just saying that it existed, and I thought it was kind of cool, you know what I mean? And more than a few of you guys writing me telling me that there's not much I could say about it if I didn't actually have it, you know. But now I got my paws on it, and I can give you a more in-depth analysis of what this fucking thing is, you know, about its capabilities and its limitations and shit, you know. Really give a good review to it. You know, and I did another video about something similar called the Sega Genesis Dual Action Arcade Motion, right? It was this wacky blue thing that came with these weird blue Wiimotes with very primitive kind of motion sensing technology, right? And that thing claimed to have like 40 games, even though only like 15 of those were Sega games. And there were some of the motion games that were really stupid, like a motion fucking boxing game and like a motion baseball game. They both fucking sucked. Actually, all the fucking games on there sucked, except for the Sega games, right? And it's kind of the same deal with this thing, right? It claims to have 80 games on there, but actually only half of those are actually Sega Genesis games. The other 40 games are like crap that nobody wants to fucking play. Nobody should fucking play these terrible games. They're awful. But the other 40 games, Sega Genesis games, those are fucking great games. And actually, 40 is quite a lot, you know. That's as many games as are on the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. That has like 40 Sega Genesis games. And the 40 games you got on this collection are pretty similar to that fucking collection, you know. Actually, well, let's kind of break it down, you know. Alex Kidd, that is on Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection. So is Alien Storm and Altered Beast. But Arrow Flash is not on the Ultimate Collection. Bonanza Brothers is, but Shakan the Foreverman is not. Columns is on that collection, but Columns 3 isn't. What do they have in Columns 2? Columns and Columns 3, what the fuck? Comic Zone is on the Ultimate Genesis Collection, but Crackdown is not. Not sure about Gain Ground. Fucky is, and Fatal Labyrinth is. Eternal Champion is not on the Ultimate Collection, but Eastwat is. Echo Jr. That's actually not on Sonic's Ultimate Collection, but the other two Echo the Dolphin games are, right? Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine and Decap Attack, those are both on Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, along with the Golden Axe, all three Golden Axe games, Jewel Master, I'm not sure if it is. I know Kid Chameleon is, and Rise Star is. Oh, Shadow Dancer, that's not on Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, but it's on this one. Shinobi 3, that's on the other collection. Streets of Rage and Streets of Rage 2. Yeah, and Streets of Rage 3. Oh, fucking right. Streets of Rage 3 is like the main reason to get this collection. That game by itself, if you look for it on fucking eBay, it's like, whoa, man, that's pretty fucking expensive. Actually, that's more expensive than this whole fucking unit, you know? You can get this whole unit for the price of just Streets of Rage 3. That's fucking crazy, you know? It's also got Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic Spinball, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, but no Sonic 3. It's got Sonic 3D Blast, and the Ooze, and Vector Man 1 and 2, and Virtua Fighter 2, right? Yeah, but it's not the 3D version of Virtua Fighter 2. It's like a 2D version of Virtua Fighter, right? I mean, but the selling point for Virtua Fighter is that it's a 3D fighting game. So this is a 2D, 3D fighting game? What the fuck? but seriously, the Sega Genesis games on this collection are really fucking awesome. It's great, and yeah. I don't even know why they have to have those other crappy games even on there, you know? There's other crappy fucking knockoff games just to pad out the number. So there's like 80 games, because 40's not impressive enough. Fuck that. It should just be fucking Sega Genesis games. Why are these extra games even on here? Well, anyway, the other selling point for this thing is that it actually has wireless controllers. And it's compatible with Sega Genesis cartridges. Asterisk. Oh, there's an asterisk there. What's that? Some cartridges are not compatible due to cartridge conditions. Whatever. Yeah, sure. Some of the cartridges aren't compatible. I expect that. It's not going to work with every single Sega Genesis game, but I wonder just how many fucking cartridges actually work for this thing. Well, I have quite a few fucking Sega Genesis games. I could try out a bunch of my games, see if they work. Yeah, I'll do that. But as for these wireless controllers, the fact is, I've always wanted wireless controllers, I mean, back in the day, they actually had wireless controllers for the Sega Genesis, and Mark from Classic Game Room actually did a review of the wireless controllers,
Ooh. How many of you just jumped out of your seat and said, I want one?
I mean, they look fucking awesome. Always wanted them, right? And now I do. I got fucking wireless Sega Genesis controllers, People complain that these things kind of suck. Like, they're not very good. Well, I think they're pretty good. Pretty decent, They actually got to be pointed at the fucking system because it's like, it uses like infrared. See it? See that? Yeah, that's infrared. I mean, you can't see that with the naked eye, but the camera lens picks it up. A little infrared signal gets sent out from the fucking controller. And the unit fucking picks it up, and so you gotta have line of sight. The controller's actually gotta be pointed at the TV, but this thing's small enough that you can actually put it on top of the TV. I highly recommend putting it on top of the TV so that it can actually pick up the signal, and it works just fine. But if that really don't work for you, there are ports on the front of the system where you can plug in an original Sega Genesis controller if you want to, and it's great, Actually, you can plug any fucking Sega Genesis controller in there. It even works with the fucking arcade stick. Yeah! So it's So I think the controls really work. But, I mean, the big thing you gotta worry about with the wireless controllers isn't whether or not they're, like, responsive enough or whether the signal actually works. But it's the fact that the menu button right in the center of the controller, right where the pause button should be, well, the menu button resets the fucking game. So sometimes you go to fucking pause the game and you actually hit the menu button and you fucking reset the game. Like, that sucks, right? But if you can remember that the actual pause button is underneath the fucking button that resets the game, then it should work alright for you. But there will be that time where you accidentally hit reset instead of pause. And I'm telling you, it's gonna piss you off. Shit! Oh, I fucking hit reset! God damn it. So, I mean, the big question then is, how compatible is this with regular Sega Genesis cartridges? It says that it's compatible with Sega Genesis cartridges, but just how many games actually work for this fucking thing? Well, let's try it out. I got a bunch of fucking games. I mean, I got like over 300 games in my collection. So let's do it. Let's see how many of these fucking games actually work, right? Now, I'm not going to try fucking games that are actually on the collection, like Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2 are already on the collection, so who cares if the cartridges work, right? But Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is not on the collection, right? Does it work in this machine? Hell yeah, it does. Fucking right, it works. Right, but can I plug fucking Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 3 into this system and have that work? Right, because normally you put those two together and you get Sonic the Hedgehog 3 with Knuckles, right? Well, does it work for the unit? Unfortunately, no. It only reads it as Sonic and Knuckles. It doesn't even read that Sonic 3 is even plugged in there. No. But, strangely enough, it does work with the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Knuckles combo, right? that one actually does work. So now you can play Knuckles in Sonic 2, right? That actually works. So I was surprised that actually works on this fucking thing, right? But actually, surprisingly, pretty much fucking everything works, you know? You throw Ghouls and Ghosts on there. Ghouls and Ghosts fucking works. And it's great, you know? And there's a mild problem with the fucking sound quality, right? The sound quality's not that great, you know? Streets of Rage just doesn't quite sound right. The music is just kind of messed up. You know how it's supposed to sound on the original fucking machine, right? Yeah, I fucking love the music in Streets of Rage. But on this fucking machine, it's kind of weird. It just kind of sounds weird. Games are kind of fucked up, you know what I mean? The music in Toe Jam and Earl actually sounds pretty damn good, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound perfect, but it sounds pretty fucking good, you know? Yeah. And a lot of games, they fucking sound great. In fact, the sound was the only issue I would have with any of these fucking cartridges. I popped everything in there, they all fucking worked, and they all worked great. They all looked great, they all played great. This sound was only the occasional issue. Sometimes it sounded kind of funky, but otherwise they all fucking worked. This thing totally gets an A as far as compatibility, you know? But with a few minor fucking exceptions, like virtual racing didn't work. But I didn't really expect it to. I mean, it's a giant fucking cartridge. It's got some special SVP 3D chip in there. I wasn't even sure if it was going to work, and it didn't. Not really surprised. In fact, the unit didn't even recognize it was plugged in. When you turn it on, it just automatically goes to the At Games game menu, right? Didn't even realize there was a game in there. Yeah, but everything else I put in the fucking machine worked just fucking fine. I mean, it didn't work the first time I plugged it in there. You might have to fucking fuck around with it, you know, take it out, put it back in, blow in it if you need to, you know, hit reset a couple times, but eventually, yeah, fucking right. Although Super Street Fighter 2 didn't really work. It kept going to like a red screen, right? Like the screen would turn all red. But I mean, something was happening. At least it was recognizing there was a cartridge in there, right? In some games, you would get like a green screen, or it would get kind of like funky or something like that. Go all glitchy. But, you know, pull it out, blow in it, put it back in, and it works just fine, right? Alright. Yeah, so it kept going to a fucking red screen. So I don't know, maybe I'm just not doing it right, but yeah, Super Street Fighter 2 wasn't working, but yeah, big deal. I got Street Fighter 2 Special Tournament Edition, and that works fine, you know? Every other game I threw at it just fucking worked. In fact, it was working so well that I even tried a couple games that I know don't work. You know, Pit Fighter, Gauntlet, and this one copy of Global Gladiators don't fucking work. Actually, I have 2 copies of Global Gladiators, right? Because I got this one, and it didn't fucking work. You know? And so I got another one. But this copy, the one that didn't work on my original Genesis machine, well, it does work here, you know? Turn it on and hey, it starts up just fine. But for some reason it doesn't work on the Genesis machine. So then I tried Gauntlet. Can I get Gauntlet to fucking work on this thing? And it seemed like it almost did for a second, right? I kept hitting reset and I was like, well, it's realizing there's a cartridge in there, you know? It's like it might almost work, you know? But no, it didn't. Yeah, I was actually really surprised by how compatible this machine is. It pretty much played everything I threw at it. Pretty impressed. You know? The only thing I don't like about it is that it claims to have 80 games on there when actually only half of them are fucking Sega Genesis games. And it's got these 40 fucking crappy games that nobody wants to play. They're so fucking bad. It brings down the quality of the whole fucking unit. You know? I mean, these kids going to play these games and think that these games are actually Sega Genesis games. It's so bad. In fact, the games are so fucking bad, I'm going to do a whole video just about the crappy games on this Sega Genesis classic game console. Yeah, they're that fucking bad that they deserve a pugnacious Sega Genesis geek video. Yeah, we're going to fucking do it. Next fucking time. So, until then, fucking keep it real.